a few days ago, I'm officially 20 weeks pregnant, which means I am pretty much halfway through my pregnancy. What? So in terms of growth, in the past 6 weeks since my last update, the baby has gone from this to this. Not to mention my uterus has pretty much tripled in size and filled with amniotic fluid in the meantime as well. Basically, a lot of stuff has been happening. I really don't know kind of where or how to begin explaining my experience of the last 6 weeks, so I think I'm just going to start with pretty much just a statement. I don't like being pregnant. So that might be a slightly shocking or different response than you're used to hearing with these pregnancy update videos, but I wanted to make sure that these updates are as open and honest as they possibly can be, for both my sake when I look back on them, and also for somebody else's sake that might be experiencing some of the same things and looks at this video and has that connection of, oh, someone else is going through the same thing as I am. Before I go any further though, I want to clarify a few things. 1, just because I'm not enjoying pregnancy does not mean that I don't love my baby. 2, it doesn't mean that I'm not excited to have my baby. 3, it doesn't mean that I am not grateful for the fact that I'm having a baby. 4, it literally just means that I'm not enjoying being pregnant for many different reasons, which I'll go on to explain in a minute. I really don't think that this topic is discussed enough because I just found it so hard. I found it hard to be really open about it, particularly in social settings, just because it's not the norm to be so unhappy during pregnancy unless it's about normal pregnant things, which people just brush away as, oh, but you're pregnant and you're glowing, so that means it doesn't matter. So some things that I've been experiencing within the past 6 weeks are as follows. Exhaustion. I feel better and more energized than I did when I was in my first trimester, but I don't know who was talking about this sudden energy burst you get in second trimester, because I didn't feel no burst. I still get so very tired so very easily. Trouble sleeping. Now this is probably a big factor in the whole exhaustion thing as well, but I'm finding it so hard to both get to and to stay asleep. It's kind of a mix of just being really uncomfortable, because I used to be a stomach sleeper, so I'm trying to find that new position of how to sleep now that it's uncomfortable to sleep on my stomach. And also my brain just doesn't want to relax or go to sleep at all, so it's constantly going, which constantly keeps me awake at night. Cramping. Nobody talks about the cramping. Yes, okay, there is some discussion about a mild discomfort cramping while your uterus is stretching and growing, but they don't actually talk about how painful it can actually be, and you just assume that it's going to be completely and utterly different to menstrual cramps. But I've kind of been experiencing the same type of cramping, which is even scarier when you think you're not supposed to be experiencing menstrual cramping. I wake up with cramps every single morning without fail, and I generally fall asleep with cramps as well. I'm afraid to sneeze, I'm afraid to cough, I'm afraid to laugh in some instances, because that will cause some sort of twitch cramping going on. Again, this is all normal, but it's not really discussed, I don't think, as openly as it really should be. It is hard, I know, to discuss things openly as if they are normal, because nothing is normal. Everyone experiences it in a different way. I guess I'm just saying I probably would have liked a heads up to the fact that I would actually have cramping even though I don't get, you know, my normal period every month. Kind of more just like round the clock cramping. And my hips and my legs have also been cramping a lot as well, particularly at night. My leg cramping has kind of been waking me up at night, and I'm finding it hard to get comfortable with it, and I have to like stretch it out. My hip is starting to twinge occasionally when I walk, but that's probably due to my back pain, which is pretty severe. I am in the process of trying to find an osteo that's going to actually specifically help me at least get through the pregnancy and be prepared for the labour. But I've basically been just experiencing really bad lower back and upper neck and shoulders pain, and it's kind of hard to find relief with it just because it's so tight that whenever anyone kind of touches me, it's pain. It's not really relief, it's just pain. Headaches. again, not really discussed as much as they probably should be. They're generally pretty constant, probably a mix of both the hormones and also the neck and shoulder pain. I actually can't remember the last time I woke up without a headache, and it's hard to get your day started and feel motivated when you have a headache straight off the bat. Lastly, and probably the biggest thing for me right now, is that I am suffering from both antenatal anxiety and antenatal depression. I don't really want to open up the discussion for this too much right now, just because I really want to dedicate some time and effort into really going into detail. I do want to do a separate video purely on that experience, but it's a thing. It's there, it happens, and again, I wasn't fully aware of it. Okay, so I know this video is kind of full of a lot of negative things, and I'm really not wanting to paint pregnancy in a whole as a negative thing, because it's not necessarily like that for everyone. Some people really enjoy being pregnant, and some people just go with it, and more power to them, really. I mean, that's great, but everybody experiences it differently, which makes a lot of sense because people are different. These updates are purely my experience, and I just want to be as open and honest as I can, and maybe that will help someone out there that might be going through some of the same things and help them find comfort in the fact that they are not alone. Okay, so I've had my 20-week scan, and unfortunately it was kind of a non-event. It was not really the greatest scan experience I've had so far, but I do get my results next Wednesday when I see my midwife, so that's a bit exciting to just sort of make sure everything's fine and going okay. To end on a bit of a positive note, I have started feeling slight movement, which is a bit exciting. It's definitely making things a lot more real. Hopefully by the next update video I'll have felt a lot more movement. I can go into sort of detail about what that experience is like for me. And belly shot. So here we go. My belly has definitely grown a lot since 14 weeks, but it's still not like massive. I think within the next few weeks or so it's going to start feeling really big, but it's definitely making this whole experience a lot more real as well, because I can't suck it in anymore. Like that's it. That's definitely baby belly. Okay, so that's my 20-week update. Hope you liked it. I'm going to try and do these videos as often as I possibly can. It's just been really hard in the last few weeks or so since my last update. Both physically and emotionally, I just haven't really felt up to sitting down in front of a camera and talking about the experience. But I really want to keep trying to share with you my experience as a whole as much as I possibly can, and that's both good, bad, ugly, all of it. I just want to share it. In the meantime though, I am still doing my daily vlogs on the second channel, so if you want to see what I do day to day, that's all there for you. So I'll just leave it somewhere around here, so check it out if you want. Just right on out there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye. To make it a bit easier to understand, the baby has basically gone from being this size to this size in 14 weeks. No wonder I felt like crap. So before I actually got pregnant, I was seeing a specialist anyway, because I have actually had a few miscarriages and troubles in the past.